the opening of the movie's narrative, it is established that there exists a corporation that ensnares individuals and confines them within a dreadful chamber. The room is called Escape Room, and it contains a few riddles that must be solved or the people will perish. This game is popular among wealthy people because they enjoy watching it and betting on it. From the previous escape room, only a girl named Zoe and her friends survived. After it, Zoe promised herself that she will make those terrible games caught and will ban them. Then a man is shown who is a worker in that company, and he made escape room for the company. He has a wife and a daughter, and his daughter was named Claire's. His wife dislikes his job and tells him that it will have a negative impact on our daughter. That's why I want divorce from you, and I am leaving with my daughter. But her husband says stay calm, and right now, I am busy, we'll talk later about it. His wife sits in her room after taking a shower, but 3 iron rods lock that room, and she understands her husband locked her in an escape room. The room temperature starts increasing rapidly. She asks to open the door, but there was no answer, and a riddle is shown on the door because of steam. And a riddle is shown on the door because of steam and stone was its answer. She sees the stones there and finds a magnet from them, and immediately understands she has to remove the iron rods from the door through this magnet. She starts removing rods one by one, but the room temperature was increasing from even 240 degrees. Due to it, her skin was melting and she dies because of high temperature before she removed the last rod. After years, their daughter Claire is shown grown elder, but her father has locked her in a room as she is an expert in making escape room. Her father makes her made escape rooms. Claire's father was enraged that Zoe survived from his game. He asks his daughter to make a difficult escape rooms, so this time Zoe will not escape. Knowing that Zoe will be arriving in New York by plane, he has constructed an escape room aboard the aircraft for her. Zoe and her friend are shown on the airport, and they were going to New York to reveal that company. Zoe feels there is something wrong, so she refuses to go via plane, and they escape. Now they move for New York in their car and spend a night in a hotel. Zoe's friend was feeling that he is in escape room. There wasn't anything in real, and it was just his nightmare. They move to a place where a thief ran while snatching Zoe's chain. They reach a station while chasing him, but the thief run from there while trapping them in a train. Zoe feels something is wrong because only 6 people were sitting on the train. She goes to check driver's cabin, but there was none. The door was locked, their box separates from the train and moves somewhere else, and they all get panicked. That box stops in an empty tunnel. Zoe's friend tries to open the train door, but it was locked, and they understand that the company has found and trapped them here. The surprising thing was the other 4 people present in the train have won this deadly game before, means now this is the game of those champions. The current was spread in the train through machines, and now they can't touch any iron thing. A boy finds a bag under a seat in which there were towels and the door handle. They open the driver cabin through this handle. They discover a token machine inside and must insert 9 tokens into it. It was written, the mistakes on the poster must be found. They see a poster and was missing from it, and they start finding the spelling mistakes. Zoe's notices there are a total of 26 handles on the train, and there are 26 handles on the train, and there are 26 alphabets. Means they have to pull the handle of the missing letter. A girl finds a huge rubber piece from a bag, and they divide it among each other so they can pull the iron handles to avoid current. Zoe pulls a handle and a token comes out of it, and she puts it into the token box after it. They were pulling the handles of missing letters and tokens were coming out of them. The current was also increasing because of pulling handle. Now a boy finds the last 3 missing letters, but before he could tell this to anyone, he mistakenly holds the iron pipe. He loses his life due to an electric current. Zoe sees the word as, welcome backs, and she tells the last 3 missing letters to others. Zoe's friend pulls the handles immediately. He puts the token into the machine, and as this happens, a portal opens through which they escape from there. They come into a lift that was taking them deep inside the ground. As the lift stops, they tell everyone about each other. One of the boys was a priest, one of the girls was a writer, and another was a nurse. They now emerge from the lift into a massive escape room. They have to move into the front door while passing from here, but the writer girl steps on the land without thinking due to it. There was laser, but luckily none dies. And they immediately take out that writer girl from there because she has stepped on a wrong tile and the laser stops as a result. Now they have to cross that path through the door within 10 minutes, otherwise the door will be closed. If they will step on the wrong tiles, the laser will end them. The priest retrieves a key from the lollipops, and Zoe moves to the lockers while extracting the key and crossing the counter. The nurse and the writer also find a key, and they move to open the lock. Ren notices a number on each lock, but there was a lock on which a name was written, and they start opening the lock. As it opens, many sharp diamonds come out of it, and Zoe's finger becomes injured as she touches it. The girls also discover the empty notes from that lock, and after a while, an ATM light turns on, and they now want its code. Zoe's friend understands if he will pour Zoe's blood on the notes, he may get the code, but the laser turns on as the nurse gets on the counter to give the notes, and the nurse falls down being scared of it. The laser also turns off as she falls down. The priest gives those notes to Zoe's, and they get the code when they pour blood on them. As he inserts the code into the ATM, 3 clocks stops at the different time, actually. The hour needle was telling them in which direction they have to move, and the minutes needle was telling how many steps they have to walk. The priest walks 12 steps according to the needles. He was placing lollipops on the tiles behind, so everyone get to know the right path, but cross the half path with the help of needles, because the next tile gets pressed like a button and another locker comes in front immediately. A riddle appears on the tile on which he was standing. They start finding the code, being panicked to open the locker. They have a short time, so the priest moves forward while trusting God. Even others forbid him, but he ignores them as a result of stepping on the wrong tile. The laser activates, his head collides with the table, and he faints. The girls remove his foot from the wrong tile and the laser stops. The writer has understand the riddle, that's why she keeps on moving the locker's handle. It opens and, this time, a map comes out of it, and Zoe places it on a design made on the wall. Now they find the other path. Zoe stops here and tells the further path to others, and after it, they leave while taking the faint priest. Zoe also hurries towards the door. She moves out at the right time before the door closes, and now they have crossed 2 escape rooms. The priest also comes to his senses, and then they move forward in the 3rd escape room. It was made like a seashore. The writer sees a camera and she picks it up and takes a picture, and they see a boat in the picture, but there wasn't anything in front of them. That's why they start finding the boat. Zoe's friend finds a tool from the garbage with which they can find the iron things, and through it, he finds the boat everywhere. Zoe finds 2 statues here, and there were shells placed on the eyes of one statue that were looking strange. The tool noises on the sand, and they dig that place and take out a massive thing tied with ropes, but the rope breaks and the sand engulfs that rope immediately. They understand the sand is turning into bog in which the nurse got stuck, and the sand engulfs her later. The priest jumps into the sand while tying rope on his waist. He saves the nurse, but the rope again breaks due to it. He dies because of being stuck in the... So they move into a cabin, but moving inside, they need to find a code to open the fridge. There was a button, and when Zoe pressed it, the light in the outside building turned on. She understands they will find the next clue upside the building, so she moves upside through stairs, and Zoe sees a message through binoculars that was... can't see him, but was actually the fridge code, and he opens the fridge. Due to it, they can leave from here. Zoe removes the round door, and there was a secret path, and she understands if they will move inside, they will be out of the game. She calls others, and, except for the writer, her friend, and the nurse moved to her while trusting her. Now they were moving upstairs through stairs. The nurse moved upstairs, but the stairs move inside before Zoe's friend move upstairs. He was buried in the sand while falling down, and Zoe's feels bad to see this. Now they come to a place through secret path. They find a ladder to move out from here. They come out through ladder and understand seeing cars around that they are on a road. It means they have come out of the game in real, but there was nothing like this, and the writer rushes to them and tells this is 4th escape rooms, and there will be acid rain after every minute. We have to move into the store to escape from it, but it is locked. As the time ends, The acid rain starts, but a cover comes on them and they saved. The rain stops and the timer of 1 minute starts again. The phone rings in a box, but it was also locked, and Zoe says if we will collect the acid we can open the door while melting the lock. The nurse finds a thing that will not burn with acid, and she finds a bottle. The rain starts again as the time ends. They stand under the cover while placing the bottle there. As the rain ends, they melt the lock with the collected acid and the door opens. Zoe picks up the phone, but there wasn't any answer, and she discovers about a car through a poster. She understands the car standing there is their next clue, and she starts searching the car. She notices the car door is locked, and then the rain starts as the time ends. The girls have an umbrella, and they give it to Zoe. Zoe escapes from being burned in the acid. Zoe sees 3 rings in a poster and asks the nurse to let the phone rings for 3 times, and then picks up the phone. The nurse does the same due to it. The car door opens and Zoe immediately sits in the car. After the rain, the girls also try to move inside the car, but the door was locked and the door of telephone box also closes automatically. The cover was also moved inside and they have no other way, so they died because of being burnt in the acid rain. Zoe starts shouting seeing this deadly scene because she couldn't do anything to save them. Meanwhile, the seat opens and Zoe's went somewhere, and Claire's father, who made escape rooms, feels something is wrong because Zoe didn't come to the last escape room where she has to come but went somewhere else. He understands it must be done by his daughter Claire's to save Zoe. On the other side, Claire's friend brings Zoe's. Claire tells Zoe, "See, I am doing this on my father. My father has locked me in this room since my mother died. I called you here to help me and take me out of this room." Zoe says, "I don't trust you, so why I should help you?" She claims, "I made a mistake in the seashore escape room when your friend was engulfed in sand and survived. He is safe in a room," but they see the companion of Claire's father put him in the final escape room. It was a temperature room. Zoe's friend starts solving this room's riddle, but if he will not solve it soon, he will be ended like Claire's mother. Claire tells Zoe, "I can save your friend through my father's computer, but for this, I have to go out of this room." Zoe, I start solving the riddle from the wall, but it was changing within seconds, so it was impossible to solve it. Claire tells, "My father said I will never be able to solve this riddle myself," and Zoe stands at a place where can't see the code through which they open. He starts pressing his daughter's neck, but she pushes her father and locks him in the room in which she was. Claire rushes to her father's room and turns the last escape room off from his computer where Zoe's friend got stuck. Likewise, he was saved. Claire's, "Where is my friend?" And she tells, "He is in the building you went at first, and your all escape rooms are played in that building. I have locked all humans there who have made this game. So you will hand over them to the police with proofs, and I will hand over my father to the police." Later, Zoe reaches the building in the car, and the police along with the ambulance were present there. The dead bodies of the players of the game were also taken out, and the police have also arrested the persons who controlled the game. Zoe also finds her friend after it. Claire comes to her father here. The real face of Claire reveals that how dangerous is she. She is actually insane since her childhood. Her habits, such as hurting others and behaving badly with everyone, had developed since her childhood. Her mother was about to send her to a mental hospital to make her fine. That's why she ended her mother in the escape room. Yes, Claire has ended her. And after that, she ends her father here so she can be admired when she creates more lethal escape rooms. She tried to be innocent from the beginning, but she was insane enough to murder her parents. Here, this movie ends. Friends, if you haven't watched the first part of this movie, then please go check out through link which I posted below under description. Also, let me know the next topic which you love to watch on comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, as it will motivate us to create such content for you.